So he's been the head coach at Troy since 2019. Prior to that, he was the head coach at his alma mater, UT Arlington, from 2006 to 2018. He was the Sun Belt Coach of the Year in 2017, Southland Coach of the Year in 2012. Troy is 17-8 on the season, and tonight they'll face Appalachian State. I'm joined by head coach Scott Cross. Scott, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I can't complain, and a frigid Toronto afternoon up here in Canada.
Nice.
So you guys, afternoon matchup, big implications in the Sun Belt, the number 2 and 3 team. So, I mean, how you feeling heading into this one against App State tonight?
Well, we know it'll be a tough one. We let one slip on Saturday against Little Rock. App State also lost at home against very good Georgia State team. And I know they're going to be playing with a lot of fire. I would think that our guys are as well. So I would think, it's going to be 2 teams really, really going at each other. They've got a pretty good home court advantage here in Boone, North Carolina. I expect a large crowd, and our guys have been good on the road this season, and we'll need to bring our best defense and play with a high level of toughness in order to squeeze out a win tonight.
So you guys average 70.7 points per game, but your leading scorer, FEODG, only averages 11 points per game. I mean, how's that even possible? That 11 points, that's it. You know what I mean? So it's pretty balanced attack.
We do. I think I was looking on KenPom, and I believe we play the second most bench minutes in the country. We are fortunate that we have 15 scholarship guys because of the COVID year. You were able to oversign. So we had 2 seniors. We were able to sign 2 additional guys. So we actually have 15 scholarship guys. Well, we brought all of them here for a reason. I believe in them. It's impossible to play 15, but pretty much every game this year, we've had 2 or 3 guys missing for various reasons. So we have played a lot of guys, and that's been one of our strengths is our depth. It's kept our guys fresh. We're able to play with a high level of intensity. And I think that's why we've been pretty good defensively all year long.
So we mentioned Effie, you got a UTEP transfer. He's talking about how he came across your radar, and what kind of guy is he off the court?
Yeah, so my last year in Arlington, myself and Kenneth Mangrum, my associate head coach, recruited him there, and it was down to us in Fresno State. He ended up choosing Fresno State, kind of broke our heart. Rodney Terry took the UTEP job. Well, Byron Jones, who's on my staff now, stayed at Fresno and was hoping to get the head job there. He was the interim head coach. They didn't give it to him. He ended up going to Air Force after sitting for a year. Effie, went to UTEP and played a couple years there. And then he backed up Bryson Williams, who we know, playing for Texas Tech is a phenomenal player, borderline NBA guy. And so Effie decided to transfer. Well, now you have myself and Coach Mangrum, who recruited him in Arlington, and you have Coach Jones, who recruited him for Fresno. So you have 3 guys on staff that his mom and him are very, very familiar with. So, it still wasn't easy. I know there are a lot of teams that would love to have him. He's a throwback, back to the basket player, can score with either hand, works extremely hard. And definitely, he's kind of the focal point of our offense.
So when you took over Troy, first year, 9-22, it's been, a reclamation project in a way. I mean, how have you gotten the guys to buy into your message? Here you guys are, in the hunt for a Sun Belt Conference title right now.
Yeah, I think, the first recruiting class we had Nick Stampley was a part of that. Desmond Williams, Jakeevan Leffridge, Khalil Waters, those guys have stuck around. They bought into what we're trying to do. Xavier Williams was on the previous staff and is a phenomenal player and just extremely coachable. So, we had a good nucleus of guys. We did have to make some roster moves because guys just didn't really fit culturally what we were trying to build. Very good players, some of them, but they just weren't willing to buy in 100% to what we were trying to do. And so this year we finally feel like we got the roster there. The guys have done a great job buying in. We do have some really good players on our team. We have a lot of depth. It does make it hard at times because of the depth, but like I said earlier, when you have guys go down, it sure does make it a lot nicer.
Cool. So you and I spoke several years back, about 5 years ago, when you were the head coach at UT Arlington, over the phone for an interview, and you explained your "Take the Stairs" motto to me. I just wanted you to kind of, rehash that story of how, your thoughts behind that. When you're done, I got a couple things to share after you explain the "Take the Stairs" motto.
Sure. I mean, I've always had that philosophy even back when I was an assistant coach. We're actually in a Holiday Inn Express right now here in Boone, North Carolina, but they're usually 2 or 3 floors, and it would drive me nuts when I'd see 15 guys waiting for one elevator, and then my staff and I would walk up the stairs, and we're already in our room, put our bags up, and heading down, and they're still waiting for the elevator. And so I used to always give them trouble about it. And then one road trip kind of was the breaking point. We came back, and I think we had lost. It may have been the Troy, South Alabama road trip, if I'm not mistaken. But we get back to Arlington. It's snowing outside. I'm jogging around the concourse, and I see like 5 guys. And the elevator opens, and I wave as I'm jogging. And then I took a few more steps. I was like, "Whoa, that was our guys there." And I was steaming about it the whole rest of my workout. I called Coach Mangrum on the way home as I was driving home, asked him about it. A lot of times my staff will kind of calm me down and say, no, it's not that big of a deal. He didn't really do that. Then I get home. My wife used to be a coach as well and was a former volleyball player. Same thing. She's like, "Oh man, our coach would have ran the crap out of us if we did that." And so, I didn't sleep all night. We actually had a game the very next day. So in shoot around, I huddle all the guys up. And I asked who were the guys that took that elevator, and they all raised their hand. And I said, "All right, the guys that did not, y'all hold their shoes, and they're going to walk on their hands from mid-court all the way up the stairs, all the way to the elevator, and then back down." So it probably took them 10 minutes probably to do that. And obviously, that's about 300 steps on your hands, doing the wheelbarrow. And so, of course, they couldn't hit another shot and shoot around. And so I left there, and I was like, we probably lost the game by doing that. But, I huddled the guys back up, and I was like, "Do y'all understand why I had you do that?" And they were like, "No, you're crazy." And, I was like, "The reason why I had you do that is because, those elevators are for, the training staff when they're carrying water coolers or crutches, or for somebody that's injured that can't walk, or for somebody that is elderly and can't walk. Like, it's not for high level Division I athletes that are playing a game tonight, and you're feeling so sorry for yourself that you're going to just take a shortcut." And like, if you have that mentality, in my mind, you've already lost the basketball game before it even starts. And so we actually ended up winning that game. And from that point forward, it kind of became a mantra for us even more. And, it's stuck ever since then.
I love that. So that stuck with me, that "Take the Stairs" thing. So not long after that, I was working in downtown Toronto, and you got to take the subway in because the parking situation is tough, and the steep the subway stairs every day. I never took the escalator once in about 2 years. Every single day I took those stairs. Even I did my back, old man bad back. I did it in pretty bad. There was 2 weeks, and I said, "Nope, I'm taking the damn stairs." And so even, it stuck all the way up in Canada. That message resonated.
Hey, you're an OKG. You need to send Robert your address, and we'll get you a Take the Stairs t-shirt.
All right, I'll definitely do that. And then even my son. So my son's he's playing university now. He's a soccer player, and a couple years ago he did his knee in and sitting around 5 6 months. And when he came back to doing rehab, and that I told him that "Take the Stairs" story had stuck with him. So that's how he finished. He'd go running every day when he started getting back after 6 months, of lying in his bed, and then just around the corner there's these really steep stairs that he would run them 10 times. He goes, "Hey,
Wow,
that's how I finish every workout. You got to take the stairs." And so,
that's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's so. Speaking of UT Arlington, so Scott, I'll tell you, I was working for one of the major media companies up here in Canada, and I got fired from my job back in early December. And it's one of those, like, what happened? And so, I'll look back to you at UT Arlington, 21 wins that last year, your alma mater, and then kind of out of nowhere, let go. I mean, have you been able to take stock of that situation yet?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard. My associate head coach that was on my staff, Greg Young, got the job, so I'm very happy for him. I think that was a great hire on their part. We're still good friends, and it's hard to pull for them because of the situation, but Coach Young was a extremely important part of our success there, and very, very deserving of it. And now, the administration's starting to change over from the people that fired me, and I'm looking forward to that point where it'll be a little bit easier to pull for your alma mater and Coach Young, because I want him to be successful. But at the same time, it is a competitor, your own human nature. It's a little bit hard to do. But I love it here at Troy, and the great thing about it, everything happens for a reason. And I wouldn't be here if that wouldn't have happened. And we absolutely love it. It's been great for our family. You could almost throw a rock from our arena to where we live. My boys love it. Their school is like a block away from where we live as well. And so it's just been really, really good for our family, and the Troy community is so supportive of all their athletic programs. So it's been a blessing. It was a tough deal. Anybody that gets let go can empathize with it, but I'm very, very thankful now that it did happen because of where I am today.
Cool. Yeah, I remember around that time interviewing about 4 or 5 other head coaches I chatted with kind of that week, and everyone off the record was like, hey, what do you think of this? And everyone was like, no, Scott's the best. I'm a great guy. Everyone to a man was kind of shocked. And so it was, yeah, is what it is. But anyway, so before I worked in media, I worked in music. I was an agent and a concert promoter for Grammy-winning musicians. So I always want to check in on any musical taste on coaches, or any kind of podcast you're listening to while you're working out, or just whatever, trying to blow
I'm
off steam.
definitely an old school rap. So Ice Cube, Tupac, Biggie, anything old school back, not early '90s, late '90s rap. That's what I'm listening to for the most part. I am a Colin Cowherd fan. So, if I do have on the radio, usually at lunchtime, if I'm, driving, I'll listen to him. And then, probably the other one that I listen to is I do play fantasy football. We actually had our team had a fantasy football league. So we had a draft, and the coaches and the players are in it. I think we had, I don't know, 14 or 15 of us playing in it. And so the football, I forget what it's called, fantasy football morning in the morning. So like when I'm driving to work, I think they're on from like 6 to 8 or 9 in the morning. I'll listen in, but it's such a short drive. I only get to catch them for about 2 minutes as I drive in. Back when I was in Arlington or at TCU, I had a 45-minute commute. So I was probably a little bit better at fantasy football back in the Metroplex.
You mentioned old school rap. Did you see the halftime Super Bowl performance with Snoop?
I did. Me and my wife were absolutely loving it. My boys, we got our boys, they like old school rap as well. And so, yeah, we were jamming out to it and thought it was one of the best halftime Super Bowls that we've seen.
So I was the Wu-Tang Clan's agent for over a decade.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. So I have a book. I wrote a book. It's called Life on the Road with the Wu-Tang Clan, and it's about my kind of decade and change on the road with all the Wu-Tang guys.
Is it available by Kindle?
Yes, Amazon Kindle. It's on there. Yeah.
Download it and read it. That's my other hobby. Before going to bed at night, I got to read for about 30 minutes, or I won't fall asleep. So I'll get it and check it out.
Cool. So earlier this week, I had a chat with South Alabama head coach Richie Riley, and we just talked about the grind that is the Sun Belt. I mean, it might have the most parity of any conference in college basketball, because I mean, any of the 12 teams could literally, win the conference tournament coming up. Just talk about what kind of grind it is every night.
Yeah, I think, last place has 3 wins and first place has 3 losses. And so that tells you how even it is. We lost to the team that's in last right now in Little Rock. And, so we know, if we win that game, we're in first place. So that tells you how balanced the league is. I do think there's probably, 7 to 8, I would say, that have a legitimate chance of, winning in the NCAA tournament. But there's absolutely no easy games. I mean, if you're not ready to play on that given night, you are going to lose. And I think that can happen all the way around the conference. And that's why, right now everybody does have 3 losses. And I would say, the winner will probably end up with, I would guess 5 losses. I guess there's a chance, Texas State only has 3 losses right now. I guess there's a chance maybe them or, us or App could, win out and only have 4 losses. But I think in the end, the team that wins the league will have 5 losses.
Cool. And so I know you got tip off not long from now, so I don't want to keep you too long. Last question. I mean, what's the belief like in your locker room amongst you and your guys that, when you get to conference tournament, you guys can win this?
Yeah, we believe 100%. For us, it's all about our effort when we're playing great defense and we're playing with a certain level of grit and toughness. Our guys know 100% that we can beat any team in the league. I think, the biggest thing for us is probably playing our best or our toughest, even when we're not playing somebody that we don't view as the best in the league. And that hopefully that was the lesson that we learned last Saturday against Little Rock. If we're matched up against somebody that's, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th seed, in the conference tournament, hopefully our guys will have the right mentality going in, because those teams are very, very capable of beating us if we're not ready.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for your time. I know game day coming up, so really appreciate it. And hey, best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
All the best. Thank you.